The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
If you guys haven't been paying attention for the past couple of seasons, Creepshow on Shudder has been playing, and they're on season 3 right now, in the middle of season 3. And I got to tell you, you got to be watching this stuff, man. It is really, really, really good. The first season I wasn't too keen on, little wavy here and there, but the second and third seasons, they're dialing it up. They're turning up the shit. It's really, really, really good. It's got the great pacing, great stories, great casting as well. So definitely check this stuff out. It's playing on Shudder right now. It's really, really great. And by the way, does anybody have $3.25 million that I could borrow so I could buy the Nightmare on Elm Street house? Just checking. Welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Zombies. You're listening to Trick or Treat Radio, starring the Deadites.
Welcome to episode 482 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Also at the Lair of La Swag within the Raven Chateau. Also from Casa Day 50. It looks like there's still some remodeling going on over there. And also,
it's going to be like this
for a while, huh? How long is it going to take?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ. Why take so long, man?
I'm a busy person. I'm very much in demand.
By all your friends at Monster Expo?
That's right. Continue with the introduction, and then we can get to that.
And apparently calling from the Phantom Zone tonight is Ares, God of War.
Crap. What's going on there?
I don't know. It looks like you're in the Phantom Zone, though. It's actually kind of
that's weird.
That's been going on for weeks.
I know. I've been trying to get to the bottom of it, but I don't know what it is.
Oh,
you will bow down before me, Wolfie.
It's like scrambled porn.
Well, you're used to that, MZ.
Hey, I had
if you
that
look
shit
close.
figured out.
Yeah, if you look close, you can almost see my nipple.
Yeah, I see boobs in Ares' beard, if you look close enough.
Hey, that's no beard. That's a merkin.
What is a merkin, MZ?
Look it up. You'll know. You'll see a picture.
Just show us yours, MZ.
Your face. Yeah, right.
Maybe Ravenchild should do merkin flashbacks.
Yeah, no, I'm a second generation merkin.
A merkin is a pubic wig, especially for women, Raven Shadow. It is placed over the genitals to simulate pubic hair and to keep the private body parts from full exposure.
Wait,
Wow,
what?
I'm surprised you didn't know that.
No, I was doing a reference to the guy that Mahoney met in Police Academy 1. He's like pretending to be like a Latin lover, but he was really like American. Would he say like I'm American?
George Martin.
George Martin.
Steve Gutenberg,
Yeah,
ladies
that
and gentlemen.
No, I want George. It's a shame that George Martin was not in other sequels. I feel he should have got a bigger push.
I agree.
His
I
own
agree
film?
100%.
Go ahead, MZ. You agree?
But I do agree. I was just agreeing with Raven Shadow. That should be more than enough.
Timestamp.
Barbara as well. I mean, Leslie Barbara rather.
Barbara?
I kind of wish he was in there too.
Barbara?
Yeah, Leslie Barbara.
I think her
You know,
name
he was in.
Barbara.
He was in Popeye. He was in Back to the Future 3. Yeah, Leslie Barbara.
Oh, was he only in the first one? Really? Was he one and done?
Yeah, he was a one and done.
Yeah, no. If they do a remake, I want to bring back George Martin, man. You came to the academy to get kicked out? You're a pretty interesting guy yourself. Love that dude.
Remember, girls, I love yous.
I love you.
Wow.
Love George.
Off to a rousing start here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tonight we are going to be discussing a film called The Medium. The Medium is currently streaming exclusively on Shudder here in the States, I think in North America. And the film is directed by Bang Jong Pisanthanakun, who is the director of the amazing Shudder, Shutter, not like the streaming service. But yeah, we as we talked about last week, we did that film way back on the show in the first year. So there you go. MZ has to pull it out. He has to whip it out. So we're going to be doing The Medium, and it just popped up onto Shudder. Hopefully some of you folks got a chance to watch it and can let us know your thoughts. If you're listening live and you haven't sent in a voice message yet, but you would like to, feel free to send it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com and let us know your thoughts. Let's see. What else we got? What's going on? We're getting close to October, MZ. How's your 31 days going?
Close to October.
Close to Halloween is what I meant, yeah. We are in the midst of October.
Actually, I canceled out the 31 days.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I did.
What a quitter,
Stuff
man.
came up, and I just couldn't. Yeah, right. Stuff came up, and I just couldn't do it.
Stuff
I
came
couldn't
up. I
continue
guess
it.
you are in demand. Wow.
Well, yeah. Believe me, am I ever one to turn down a film? Never.
Yes.
Ever.
Yes.
So it would have to be something pretty big for me to cancel out, now wouldn't it? Now, of course, I'm not going to say what it is because my life is very, very private. But I do.
Says the guy who talks about pissing in the shower. My life is very private, except the parts where I piss in the shower and masturbate to scrambled porn.
Stump.
Yep.
Johnny.
Yes, Ray
Hey.
Shadow.
Better than masturbating to scrambled egg.
I can't fucking believe this guy. My life is very private.
And I did do Monster Expo over the weekend. I went Saturday, and the turnout was pretty decent.
Pretty decent.
Where it was is at this marina. Yeah, it's at this marina, which was pretty neat actually. And it was a beautiful day out. And it consisted of it consisted of 3 rooms. 1 room on its own, and 2 rooms, one adjacent to another, which was much smaller. And Throwdown Thursday podcast was there.
Did you say
let's see who else was
down? It sounded like you said
yeah, that's
down.
exactly what I
Okay.
said. No, I didn't. Ass. And of course, Steve Van Sampson and Derek Rook were there from Rough House Publishing. They were there. They did pretty decent business, and
As usual.
hung out with Dr. Chris for a while. Yeah, I hung out with Dr. Chris, and Orbit Vision Films was there. They didn't have a table, but they were there helping one of their friends out, and so Brian Paulin was there, and Stacy was there, and so it was a good time. It was a good time. Let me see. There was like really only one big celebrity there, Lisa Wilcox. Apparently Tuesday night couldn't make it. I don't know. I didn't see her there. Which kind of sucks, really. I mean, but I could see how they were treading the waters very lightly. They want to, baby steps. see how things go. Now I went Saturday, and Saturday was pretty decent. And I talked to a couple of people about Sunday. I wasn't there Sunday. They said it was a little bit lighter on Sunday, which is to be expected. But lots of vendors, some really cool shit, and it was really more just to go and hang out with the convention crew again. That's really all it was for me, anyway.
You mean your friends?
Yes, my real friends, the ones who actually go to these things. So, but that's another thing. That's another thing. They're like, who was it? Who was asking me? Steve Van Sampson. He was asking me, so where's the crew? Where are the guys? I'm like, I imagine they're at home. They didn't come? No, they didn't come. They wanted to be invited. I'm like,
Oh.
And, and Steve is like, it's a con. They could just come to this. That's what I'm saying. It's not like it's a wedding or anything where you have to be invited to go.
Johnny.
Yeah, Raven Channel.
No, listen, see, spreading lies, starting controversy. All right. Yes. Aries is a Dracula. You have to invite him. That is true.
That is
all right.
true. Yeah.
But I do work on Saturdays. Wolfie's in fucking Baltimore. I don't know quite sure where that is, but it's not local. But we could have planned something. We could have planned an event. But I feel that you talked down about us, said mistruths, and there's something going on over there that I'm fascinated about. There's something you're hiding something.
Something very personal.
Yeah,
more
something
personal
going
than peeing in the shower.
Yeah, or getting yelled at for not being home to eat squash on time. There's something going on over there.
Over here?
Yeah, there's something going on. It's suspect.
We're gonna get to the bottom of this, MZ.
My nose is twitching. I smell
Yeah.
Ralph
Dibney.
The bottom of this.
Yeah.
The only way you'll get to the bottom of it is that if I tell you what's going on.
No,
we have our ways.
But I did pick up a couple of things. I picked up this post art of Halloween 3. And there were a couple different ones there, but I picked them all Tom.
Sexy Tom Atkins, yep.
That's the Silver Fox, rather. Yeah, Tom Atkins. He's the fucking man. So I got this. And also, I'm looking at picking up those Living Dead dolls of the Halloween 3 kids. Looking forward to that. And I also splurged on a Boglin.
Ooh, look at that. I saw you post some of your Boglins.
Yeah.
Walter Boglins.
Which one did you get?
These things. I got King Vlob. See if I could get it a little closer so you can see it.
And was that one of the? And this isn't one of the originals. It's one of the new ones that they put out, right?
I believe this is one of the new ones. Yeah, they have. Let me see. There's a whole bunch of different ones that they have out. I think the 4 that they have on the side here of the back of this. Let's see. The large Boglin species. Excuse me. Boglinus humongous, King Drool, King Dwark, and King Vlob. And then there's Blobkin, which is a pumpkin Boglin, Crazy Clown, which is a clown Boglin, and Bogobones, which is a skeletal Boglin. And then I think these last 4 down here at the bottom, King Wart, King Swag, King Spunk, and King Topar.
King Spunk is MZ's nickname.
So there you go.
Glad you thought that was funny, MZ.
It was funny. It's very inventive. Not often you're funny, dude, but
yeah, Boglins, man. There you go.
Yeah, fucking Boglins, man. These and Tim Clark, he's the creator of these things. He was there, and he could not keep up with the demand of these things. Everybody was walking around with one of these goddamn things.
Yeah,
and This particular. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say since they did the Kickstarter for those, they've been hot. I know. I think the Kickstarter did really well, and I know our buddy Coop was involved in the Kickstarter to get it sort of up and running again. And yeah, people have been posting about them like crazy. Everyone missed their Boglins.
Yeah, and I had one when I was a kid, and you know what? I thought these might be a little bigger than the ones from the mid '80s. Turns out these are the same exact size.
Nice. Looks awesome.
Maybe it's the packaging. Maybe it's the packaging. I mean, it's still got the same style packaging with the lifted gate and everything.
Yeah.
Which I still have sealed. I haven't broken the seal on this thing yet. I don't know if I want to or not.
So you get older and stay the same size.
Well, you got plenty of time.
Yes.
You got plenty of time to decide on that if you want to break the seal or not.
Yeah, I mean it's got a hole in here where at the bottom here where you
I
can
don't even
cut
want
out.
to know what you're using that for.
Little boglin hole?
Yeah.
For your little boglin.
Yeah.
MZ's gonna put
I'll
his
see
little
down the
boglin
boglin
up there.
hole.
Yep.
But this particular one was going for 40. And yeah, he just couldn't keep up with the demand. Everybody was. I must have walked. There must have been at least 24 people walking around with a goddamn boglin in their hand. So I was pretty fortunate.
I'm standing here.
I'm with my boglin in my hand.
But I love the little bastard. Look at him. He's awesome. So, and he was telling stories about how the molds for these things ran $25,000 a piece.
Yeesh.
Just to make the mold. Yeah. Just to make the goddamn mold for these things. It's like 25 grand each. Which is pretty crazy. But anyway, there he is. And so I'm happy to own one again.
What happened to your boglins from before?
Oh God, who the hell knows? Who knows? That was such a long time ago. That was, let's see. I had my first boglin when I was 14. So that was around 1985. And I had them for a couple of years. I mean, I don't know why. Being a teenager, I probably just outgrew it and trashed it. But stupid me. But he had prototypes there. He had prototypes of original boglins there. I'm like, shit, look at that. I mean, he had a pink one there and a yellow one. Pretty wild too. I mean, I'm just glad.
Say again, MZ. You cut out.
God. I'm just saying, Raven Shadow, that they came out around. I could have sworn it was mid '80s.
No, I mean, I don't know, but I think it was late '80s, early '90s with boglins. I mean, I could be wrong. I didn't.
No, I remember having one. I'm almost certain it was in '85. If there was just a way we could figure out when boglins came out.
1987.
87.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I was 16 at the time. Being a teenager, and since girls weren't going to be interested in me, I was going to be interested in boglins. So
for those
get laid outside a woman's prison with a fistful of boglins and a bouquet of dildos.
So yeah, boglins. For anyone who doesn't know, I'll read some of the info. A series of toy puppets distributed by Mattel. And the original run of boglins was released in 1987, coinciding with a creatures craze that included ghoulies, critters, and gremlins. Boglins were goblin-themed hand puppets made of flexible rubber and could be manipulated to represent speech and facial expressions. Several series of large and small boglins were released until 1994, with additional aquatic, Halloween, and baby-themed boglins released later into the line. Small, solid mini boglins were also produced, akin to the muscle figures from the 80s. I think boglins was a little past my age because I don't remember boglins in their initial run. They look familiar to me, but I don't really remember them. And I was into Star Wars toys, but I know a lot of people have a lot of nostalgia for them, and the nostalgia's kind of lost on me because I just wasn't really aware of them at the time.
Yes, because Star Wars was all the rage in 1987, right?
It was.
Yeah.
It still was.
Dude, they were still doing the Power of the Force line back then with the coin. You'd have the coin.
Yeah, with the fucking
same
coin,
display.
MZ. Jesus.
Yeah.
Coin. What the hell are you talking about?
The Power of the Force coin that they have in, that in 87. Yeah, right. I was a fucking big kid like Wolfie. We were looking for G.I. Joe figures and the superpowers line, trying to find that cyborg figure from the fucking Final Wave. Still can't find that motherfucker. That was my white whale of action.
I've been debating whether to open this thing up or not, but I don't know.
Evil
But
Corny,
I'm just happy.
Evil Corny posted a GIF of tumbleweeds, and he added a caption that says, "When women hear about boglins."
That's nice. Thanks.
Bullshit, buddy. The bullshit. There were a lot of girls carrying these goddamn things around. They were the hot ticket item there, without question. And it's not like he had a huge setup either. He was Tim Clark, who was running the table for this. He was way in the corner, way in the deep corner, right next to Lisa Wilcox from Nightmare on Elm Street 4. But he was right in the corner of the room with a real small table.
Was he in the corner, though?
Yes, he was. And he even had, oh, yeah, that's right. Even ran into our friend Kevin Crook, who was there. And there was this print of Boglins there that it was like a mural of like all these different Boglins on a black print. And it's like, damn, dude. He's like, damn, dude, you got to get this on a shirt. And he's like, we do have it on a shirt. We just don't have it here today. I'm like, fuck. Because I would have loved to have this shirt. And there were a couple of people, including himself, walking around with that shirt on. But actually, I got to get in touch with him. I got to find out the website on where to get those shirts because I like to have one. But the show was good. I mean, I think they considered it a success, and the possibility of them moving it to someplace bigger could be in the works. Don't know. I mean, it's all speculation at this point, unless you're in the know. But I think they figured this to be successful. I mean, 2 years, no con. Everybody wants to unwind, and first horror con in 2 years, so everybody was striving to go.
Here, that is. There are people listening all over the world, MZ.
Yeah.
Or not here,
yes,
not even here. I mean, in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Yes. And not even here, because it's Massachusetts. You're in Maryland.
That's what I just said.
Yes. And but I just really like the it was a good con. It didn't revolutionize anything. It didn't blow the doors away on anything. But it was a nice step back to normalcy for us horror fans, and I'm glad I went, and looking forward to next year's show if there's going to be one, and I have a strong feeling that there will be.
So would you say it was like just the tip of Comic Cons?
Yes. Yes. You got to take it easy with these things. You can't, you can't go in dry.
Jesus Christ.
There'll be a lot of screaming and foul language.
That's when
And
you.
I
that's
am not
when you-
akin to that.
That's when you enter the fucking room. That's what happens.
Did all your friends miss?
So there's that.
There you go.
Yep.
All right. So let me see. What else? What other stuff we got here? Oh, Raven Shadow, did you see that Why the Last Man was already canceled?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot going on. There was the DC fandom over the weekend, but I saw that post today and I was bummed out because actually, and shame on me, I forgot it was a thing. Not that, and I really wanted to watch it, and I still do, but I'm so behind in my viewing. But that was a bummer because I really enjoyed the trailer, and to my understanding, it wasn't even it completely did its run. They only showed 7 out of the 10 episodes. And it wasn't canceled because of ratings. It was more some other shit behind the scenes. Am I right in that?
It's what it sounded like. It sounded like there was they had to option the actors to keep them, and it was going to cost like $3 million or some number like that to keep all these, to option the actors because there was a bunch of delays initially due to COVID and other things. So I think they had to make a decision by October 15th or something like that. And since they didn't really get like all the numbers, they just had to make a call without having ratings or strong enough ratings. Because the thing now with a show like that, it's kind of hard because people might be waiting for the run and then binge it all in one day or something, or one weekend. So I think that's the difficulty in trying to figure it out now because people don't do appointment viewing anymore unless it's a show like The Mandalorian or, one of these, maybe some of the Marvel shows, the ones that, come out on a weekly basis. That's appointment viewing. You have to like plan it into your schedule so you can avoid spoilers. And, but otherwise people just binge stuff as they want to, so.
Yeah, and like it was funny, like they mentioned that it wasn't canceled due to its ratings, so they haven't like you said, like gotten it all because of that way of viewing. I mean, was it on FX proper, and then you could view it on demand on Hulu? Because it's a weird.
No, it was on FX on Hulu. I don't think it was even on the FX network.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Which
there
once
was
again, that's challenging too. It can be confusing, right? Like it's on FX,
not really.
but it's on Hulu.
I mean, every ad I saw for it said FX on Hulu. I think it's confusing.
It did air on FX.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Because that's their thing. They air their shows, and then the day after, it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu. Okay. But it looked great, and it seemed like now is the right time for something like this. Like seriously, this show, and they want to do like 50 episodes in 5 years, something like that. Like,
yeah.
This is a great fucking comic, and ahead of its time, and so relevant to this. People would fucking pop for this show. I haven't seen it yet, but
if I did.
But no, but I read the fucking book, dude. You know what I mean? Like it's
just because you read the book doesn't mean you're gonna like the show.
Motherfucker, you're right.
Well, hey,
he is right. Yeah,
I am right, and I did watch the first episode, and I was greatly disappointed in it.
Oh, really?
It was. I mean, the concept held true to the comic, but the feel missed its mark.
Oh, really?
Yes. So don't get bent out of shape when I'm saying that because you like the comic, you're not going to like the show.
Okay, no, fair, and that's true. I mean, once again, I watched the first episode of Preacher, judging it like a motherfucker. So yes, I agree what you're saying. So fair. Let me dial it back. I think it's a great concept, and the trailer looked good. But no, I did not hear. Okay, I would take that Your opinion, Aries. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, change your heart right there.
Well, yeah, because Aries is someone who saw it.
And he's someone
That's a bar.
someone who either you respect or fear. Which one is it?
Both.
There's a fine line.
Aries is going to drink to
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna drink to everything. Fuck it.
He'd drink to a hernia if he could.
Dude, how
Is that the
many
huge?
glasses you have over there?
Is that huge movie cup glass?
Oh no. My whiskey glasses, normal size. I don't know if you.
It's normal size, but that's not a
should just
normal
drink-
serving.
No. This is my favorite drink, and I got to thank Derek Ring for introducing me to this drink.
Oh, nice.
It's called Way Too Much Whiskey.
Is
Just
that how
drink
you?
it from the bottle?
Is that how you order it? Can I have a way too much? Whiskey?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to order it up at the dog that way.
Let's see. We got some more chat going on. Our boy Skeletron is hanging out. Skeletron says, "Yo." He says, "Anyone else going to watch Dune soon?" Rachel, are you going to watch The Dune on HBO Max?
On HBO Max, yes. It's funny. I'm not the biggest Dune guy. I know we definitely have friends. I know El Goro is one who loves the Dune.
You know what? I
She's
just
really-
found out today El Goro is not watching it until November because he is very much dedicated to only horror in October. So
It's
Even-
true. He said that. He said that on a recent episode.
Crazy,
either on
right?
On his 31 days that he will complete Monster Zero or his regular show proper. I'm not sure. But yeah, no, I actually only saw Dune once when I was like 18.
well, what
People-
which Dune was it? Are you talking about the David Lynch one?
Yeah, David Lynch Dune.
Sure as hell wasn't Jodorowsky's Dune.
Oh, I was talking about that the other day too. That's make that fucking movie. I want to watch that documentary again.
Steven Scarlatta made that. He made that movie.
Steven Scarlatta is fucking awesome. They should have consulted him. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, people love Dune. I'm not. It wasn't in my wheelhouse, but we'll check it out. I was talking to Marion about that the other day, and she's like, "You want to? I'm like, you want to see Dune?" And she's like, "I don't want to go to theaters for it." Well, I think it's on HBO Max. She's like, "Fuck yeah!" So yeah, maybe we'll do that.
All right, and now I haven't checked the running time on it, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be like a 5-day watch for you.
2 hour 35 minute.
Oh, fuck.
2 hours 35 minutes. That's at least. That's Raven Shadow. That for you. That's like 5 episodes. It's like 5 episodes for you.
We'll binge it.
So you're gonna binge. You're gonna binge it in 5. In
Gonna
5
binge a
different.
whole movie.
Yeah, binge a movie. The only person to binge a movie.
Yeah,
He's gonna binge a whole movie. Good for you. Good
I
for
got fucking
you.
problems.
Gonna
Stay
put
tuned.
this foot forward.
Jesus Christ. Oh man. Let's see. Skeletron says, "Yo, I felt the same way about the live action Death Note." I think he's referring to the Why the Last Man conversation.
Oh yeah, man. It's a bummer. But I think it's one thing. I'm not seen the series, but I think it's a great story. That it's a shame if it didn't take off. So fucking read the comic, please. I fucking bawled at the fucking ending.
You bald?
I did. It was fucking waterworks, brother. It was like not like almost like maybe like a game 7 loss kind of cry. I'm not saying it was
Or a game
really-
5 loss cry like the other night.
yeah. Well, there's a fucking bad fucking call. The previous way. That was clearly a fucking strike, son. Just saying.
All right, so that's going on.
Robot umps.
What's that?
Robot umps.
Bot umps. Shit, I thought there was some other stuff I wanted to mention. Oh, okay. So one thing, this is kind of leading up to talking about Patreon, but we last year we did a live extra special Halloween special, and it was a lot of fun. I actually went back and revisited. I didn't listen to the whole thing. I just kind of scanned through to see what we did, and I kind of forgot the format. And we did sort of like a variety show. We played some short films. We played some music videos. and we played some just straight up music without a video from our boy No Man Rocky, and yeah, it was a fun time. It was sort of a different feel than we normally do, but I thought it was fun, and it was more of a party atmosphere, which is what we're going for, because last year we were still in the midst of a pandemic, and while things are easing up now. People may not be ready to go to a big house party or a big indoor party. So I think we're going to do it again. We don't have all of the details settled. So as usual, it'll be relatively last minute for us. But we are going to do something on Devil's Night, Raven Shadow.
Ooh.
What do you think of that?
Halloween's not till mañana.
So we'll do a Devil's Night party on Saturday, October 30th, and details TBD. We may just do. There's some discussion about maybe just doing it on Discord, but maybe we'll open it up and do it on YouTube and Facebook as well. I want to open it up and make it fun. I don't want to make it too exclusive. But Discord is free for everybody to join. So we'll see. We'll let everyone know throughout the week. But yeah, it should be a good time. And we also have, last year we did the This is Halloween intro with all of our Patreon friends. And we're going to do something similar. So if you're a Patreon supporter, look for a message in the next couple days. We're going to do another intro like we did last year. That was a lot of fun. So looking forward to that, and hopefully people can hang out with us and hang out on Devil's Night for a live Halloween special. And also, just a quick update, we're recording 2 Patreon episodes this weekend, so we're going to drop 2 back-to-back. And so that should be cool, because we did miss a Patreon episode, so I want to make sure we get that out there. And yeah, so we got a lot coming up. 2 Patreon episodes. We have the extra special Halloween special live on Devil's Night, and just the normal stuff. We got a Patreon takeover coming up. I'm trying to work some magic with new guests November. We'll see if that can happen. I got some ideas, but still waiting on putting all the details together. But yeah, we got some stuff coming up, and the best way for you guys to help support what we do is through Patreon. So you go to patreon.com/trickortreatradio, and there you can help support the show for as little as $2. $2, Raven Shadow. That's nothing, right? You can't even put $2 of gas in your car.
No, I can get from my gas station to the studio.
So $2 is nothing. If you guys want to help out, you can start at $2. It goes up from there. There's several tiers, and you get there's a bunch of options. You can also, actually, speaking of the $2 tier, that is the tier to get into the blackout tapes, Raven Shadow. And do we have word? Is there official word on the blackout tapes?
There was talk about something being in conjunction with the extra special Halloween special. Maybe,
You feeling hospitable? You feeling like throwing a party?
I am thinking about throwing a party, Johnny. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about maybe, once the show ends, the discussion just begins. So maybe some ghosts and goblins,
Yeah. All right. So how about we do a Devil's Night live special, and then we'll follow it up with a blackout tapes after party.
I'm fucking thinking that's a good idea, John. Let's
All
get
right.
fucking floor up, baby. Come on now.
So the way this is going to work, we haven't finalized the time. We'll probably start the live show, probably guessing around 7 or 8 p.m., one of those 2 times. So we'll do a live special. It'll be about 2 hours. And then we'll take a short break. And then immediately after that short break, Raven Shadow will be hosting a blackout tapes that is exclusive to Discord, and it is only available to Patreon supporters. So if you want an invite to the most exclusive Devil's Night after party, you got to join the Patreon. $2. That's to get past that velvet rope, Raven Shadow. $2.
That's fucking cheap, man. We spent like fucking $15 sometimes, and fuck. Remember that pot that we went to? We had to have collared shirts. Not everyone had collared shirts. It was fucked up, and it sucked.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we were somewhere in like Boston, some fucking place.
Oh, was it Man Ray? Was the golf club?
Was it Man Ray?
I don't remember having to wear a button-up shirt. You just had to wear black.
No, there was a bunch of us. I don't know why we went. And I remember driving under a bridge that reminded me of like the Taxi opening, like with fucking Tony Danza or some shit. I don't know why. It might have been Man Ray.
Did you say college shirt? Like
Collared.
See, I thought you said college.
I
shirt.
actually thought you
said
said
a college.
I thought you said college shirt as well.
No,
I
not
thought
like
he said college too.
no collared.
Raven Chow
a
gave
whole,
it the old.
whole bunch of Jim Belushis just walking around.
Raven Chow gave it the old college try.
Yeah.
Oh,
Or the
I
old
tried a couple
college
times.
truck.
Oh yeah. Double D says I remember that Raven Shadow.
Yeah, D was there, right? Yeah.
Well, if he remembers it, he was there.
I don't know where it was. I did remember a bunch of us went to, what was it, the Miss Goth, USA pageant or something like that at Man Ray, right?
I remember that was Miss Goth, Massachusetts.
Miss Goth,
pageant.
Massachusetts. That's
went-
it.
That
We
might have
went
been
2 years. And that was both at Man Ray. I remember that. And the layout of this place was really something else. I remember there being a lot of people dressed up in, Gothic clothing. There was a guy dressed up like Zardoz, but it was all leather. And he was like 60 years old at the time too.
So was Connery.
But I also remember a lot of TVs up on beams, and the TVs would show German expressionism films, Nosferatu,
Oh yeah. I remember this.
Cabin Alexander, Faust, De Golem. Just really old films and old cartoons with skeletons and ghosts and witches and shit, and black cats and all this other stuff. Really cool stuff. And I also remember there was a unisex bathroom.
It was ahead of its time.
I remember that. Yeah. Oh, believe me, it was definitely unisex. Because
Or did you just walk into the woman's room?
Yeah, what?
Well, let me just say, I went into the bathroom just to take a piss, and next thing, because the place was in pretty rough shape. There was no locks on the bathroom door, so you could, that little knob that you would turn in order to lock it.
I remember you told us this when you got back. I remember this.
I got busted off. Next thing I know, I'm all done. I'm zipping up, and in come two girls, and at the same time, both wanting to take a piss while I was in there with them. And I'm like, I'm thinking, well, this is the greatest night of my life, first of all. Because they were hot. And you got a couple of sexy girls that want to take a piss while you're still in there. They're like, "Oh, I was like, I'm gonna get out of here." And one of them was like, "No, stay." And,
says Mr. Privacy over here, who won't tell anything about his personal life.
Hey, that's in the now, okay? I'm a live in the past kind of guy. And but yeah, what happened after that? I don't remember. That's the only thing that kills me. I don't remember it.
You blacked out because you were watching a girl pee.
God.
Yeah,
I don't
two
remember what
goth chicks
happened.
At the same.
Double D says
Either it was better than I imagined, or it was worse than I imagined.
Yeah.
Stay golden monster zero.
Double D says after we got turned away, we left and got hammered somewhere else. So did some of us go and some of us didn't?
I feel.
I wonder if this is the same night. I don't even know.
Oh, I don't
I
remember.
thought you went and got a shirt somewhere. I thought someone went and got a shirt.
I had been there before, so if it was Man Ray, I would have dressed the part. Like,
No, but some clubs had weird rules. Like we even had back in the day, and D was there. like when New Bomb Turk, we'd go out drinking on like a Friday, and some clubs wouldn't let you in if you wore construction boots. And it was like, motherfucker, it's fucking February. It's snowing out.
Evil,
Why can't I wear construction boots?
construction books. Evil Cordy
Construction
says
boots.
MZ got knocked out in a golden shower.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, so I don't know. We were talking about Patreon, and somehow we got off on that tangent. But anyways, we're talking about college shirts. College shirts.
College shirts.
Exclusive club. Yeah, so if you guys want to get into the most exclusive club there is online, that would be the Blackout Tapes Devil's Night After Party. And it is available for anyone who's a Patreon supporter. So all you got to do is get it at least into that $2 tier. Or if you want, you can get into the higher tiers. And as you get higher up, we got the Monsterpiece Theater Movie Club, and we got the Patreon Takeover. So give that a look, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And consider supporting and get in on the ground level of the Patreon, and you can get an invite to the most exclusive Devil's Night party there is. After party, I should say, Raven Shadow. So there you have it. All right, the other ways you can help support, head to trickortreatradio.com, scroll down, look for the Amazon logo. You click that. It's going to bring you to Amazon. It's going to input our affiliate link, and then you're going to go nuts. You're going to spend a whole lot of fucking money on a bunch of shit you don't even need. And you know what? We're going to get a little cut. That's all there is to it. That's how it works. So go ahead, use our link. It doesn't cost them any extra, Raven Shadow.
But it's another way to help keep the lights on.
That's right. And finally, Trick or Treat Radio Greatest Hits, Volumes 1 through 3. You'll find it on trickortreatradio.com. Just click Store. It's going to bring you there. We got some digital goods. And, we've been doing the show for a long time now, over 9 years, and over 500 episodes. We don't expect you to go back and listen to all of it. If you do, you get some bonus points, right, Raven Shadow? Raven Shadow will what will you do for folks, Raven Shadow, if they listen to all the episodes?
No, I'll probably give you a call. I'll probably give you
he'll give you a call. He'll give you a weekly call.
Yeah, I'd be like, yo, thank you, and we're sorry. I think
you just ruined it. You just told him what the conversation was going to consist of.
It's a conversation. I think young Nicholas did that. He went and backtracked, and he's masochistic.
Well, that was years ago. There was a lot less, but still
Sure.
pretty impressive. But he did go back and listen to all of them. But we have over 500 episodes. We don't expect you to go back and listen to them all. But if you do want to hear a little sampler of the 9 years, we got the greatest hits. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's the highlights, the lowlights, the midlights, everything in between. It's got some of the interviews, the arguments, the songs, all that nonsense. You want to hear it, grab it, help us out. There you go. All right, Raven Shadow. You sit down to watch a film from Thailand, directed by Bangjong Pisanthanakun. What do you do to prepare to watch this fucking movie?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name in public. That's for damn sure. Second of all, I'm still getting anxiety, Johnny, because this is October, right? Rocktober, and we should be doing so many fun things with each other. You should be staying over, and that sucks. I like when you sleep over in October.
The October sleepover?
I like the October sleepover. You know what I mean? We can see people, and I like that. And maybe, I don't know, but I am excited about, like you said before, the Patreon shows, the extra special Halloween special. And maybe we should get down to brass tacks and talk about OnlyFans. Is that still a thing?
It's still a thing, sure.
We should do a Trick or Treat Radio OnlyFans.
No, we shouldn't. Was MZ gonna show the fucking Tuck video?
Yes.
MZ's gonna give you daily updates about some Ronaldo or something.
Yeah, maybe that's the next step. Maybe that's the 13th step of the Patreon. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll talk about, I don't know. So I get excited, and then we're talking about, I don't know. It just sucks. I carve pumpkins. Mary and I carve pumpkins.
That sounds fun. That doesn't suck.
Yeah, I sent you guys some pictures. Nobody gave a fuck, but we did one. I did one inspired by Ghost Rider. She did a cool octopus one.
I was still reeling from that album you sent. You holding a picture of that album. I was still reeling from that.
That was wild. Yeah, I saw some of the Samurai Knights, and that was in Handsome Billy's collection. You know Billy. He's awesome. But yeah. Okay, well, whatever the fuck. Yeah, so, trick or treat, motherfucker. I guess, strap on and shit.
Strap on.
You
and
go
shit.
through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
we have action.
horror.
An adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast,
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast!
a podcast for the barbarian at heart.
I'm Alex West. And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
Oh, delicious nerds. Ms. M knows you like to chat it up with other sexy shut-ins about comics, movies, video games, and your favorite TV shows. If that sounds like you, cuddle up to the Trick or Treat Radio Facebook group, or the FIB. That stands for Fan Interaction Board. Just go to Facebook and search for Trick or Treat Radio and have more fun than a Jedi at a lightsaber sale. Not enough? Watch us on YouTube, The Deadites TV, all one word. Last but not least, check out the world's most dangerous talk radio show, Trick or Treat Radio, at trickortreatradio.com.
I could be standing outside a woman's prison in a fistful of 50s and a bouquet of dildos, and no woman would come near me. Do you
Say a
that?
bouquet of dildos?
All right, we are back on Trick or Treat Radio. And it is time to talk about a movie. And the movie we're going to be talking about this week is The Medium. This 2021 film is 2 hours and 10 minutes. It is a horror film from director Bang Jong Pisanthanakun. And it is written by Choi Chawan and Chantavid Danasevi. And the film, oh boy, you're just in time, MZ. You get to hear my Thai pronunciation. I know this is your favorite part of the show. I've gotten good with Japanese, but I'm still not really good with other Asian names. So let's see how this goes. Narulia, Gomong. Oh my God, Gomong Kolpek. That's a good one. Sawani Utoma, Sarani Yan Kitakan, Yasaka Chasorn, Boonsong Nakfu, Aruni Watana. All right, the first two are rough. The synopsis: a horrifying story of a shaman's inheritance in the Isan region of Thailand. What could be possessing a family member might not be the goddess they make it out to be. All right, so as we mentioned, the film is directed by Bangjong Pisanthanakun, and previously he directed the movie Shudder, which we have discussed previously on the show, and that was his film debut from 2004. So pretty impressive debut there. And since then he's done some other horror, but this is a return to horror for him. And as mentioned, it's from Thailand, so the film is subtitled. If you're like Aries, maybe you aren't a big fan of that. Or maybe you are. I'm trying to delay because Raven Shadow's not in his fucking seat. It's funny, Ollie's there. We should just ask Ollie what he thinks of the movie.
Oh, there he goes.
Yeah, and there he goes. He's like, yeah, fuck these guys. All right, so let's just jump in. Fuck Raven Shadow. I ain't waiting any longer. So, The Medium. This film is presented in a documentary style. I wouldn't call this found footage per se, because it's not set up in that fashion. Although, in a sense, maybe this could be considered found footage. Do you want to weigh in on that, MZ?
Well, in this instance, I would probably say, well, it's hard to say, because I like to think that there's a distinction between found footage and first-person perspective. Found footage would have to indicate the footage to be lost or missing for it to be considered found footage. First-person perspective, considering that this is a documentary crew going to film what's going to be transpiring with these characters, I would probably, without giving too much away, I would say that this is first-person perspective documentary rather than found footage.
Yeah. Aries, do you have any opinions? I know you had some thoughts on it when we did the found footage takeover from a few weeks back.
Yeah, I mean, I have a stricter viewing of the found footage, but this, I don't think, falls into it at all, because it does come across more as a prepared documentary than anything else.
Yeah, I would agree with that. So yeah, just kind of putting that out there, because I know when we talked about this last week on last week's show that we were doing this, Creepy Girl had asked us if it was a documentary, because it is presented as such. And if you didn't know anything about this, you might think, with the way it starts, that it is a documentary, because that's how they present it. And so the basic premise, there is some spoiler territory that we're not going to venture into, because this is a brand new film. But we will give you the basic rundown here, and the plot. It initially was following. So let me talk a little bit about the people that they talk about, the Isan in Thailand. They believe in animism, I guess is the best way to put it, where everything has a spirit. The trees, the wind, insects, everything has a spirit. It's not exclusive to humans. And in a sense, all of these things could be perceived as like godlike, in a sense, not in the way that the Abrahamic religions or even some other religions would look at it. Like, they're not all held in such high regard as like the pantheon of gods from other cultures. But there's reverence when you're referring to these spirits. You refer to them with reverence. So that's kind of where we're starting with this. which is interesting. There's a lot of other religions in the world. One I just learned about this week. T-Dog and I were talking about it. Is Shintoism, which is a Japanese religion, which is very much in animism and like paganism as well. Although paganism is, I guess, more polytheist, but there is the idea of animism as well. So, kind of interesting. I liked how they started out, and then as they were filming, in the documentary style, they wanted to focus on this one family. They were kind of highlighting. They were going to highlight others, but then they decided to focus on this one family, because the main character, or one of the main characters, is Nim, played by Sawani Utoma, and Nim is a shaman who is sort of like, I wouldn't say possessed, but she's the shaman of Bayan, who is sort of like one of the bigger spirits in their culture. I actually, you know what, I neglected to look up Bayan. I was actually interested to see if there was some information about Bayan. I'll look it up in just a few minutes here. But yeah, I thought that was kind of a cool thing. And also they feel that something is going on with Mink, who is she would be the niece, right, of Nim. Because her sister Noi, and this is kind of an interesting thing. She was initially supposed to be the shaman for Bayan, but she resisted it, and she actually not resisted. She flat out didn't want to, and so then Bayan chose her sister Nim to be the shaman, and as the shaman in this community for Bayan, it's what she does is she leads ritual, and she heals and she helps people. Like that's kind of her role, like kind of like more of like a healer kind of thing. So I think it's kind of an interesting little look into this Thai culture. And so Mink, who is the niece, guessing, what would you guys say? Like late teens, 16, 17, 18? Maybe. Oh, she worked, so maybe 18 or 19.
Yeah, and she was drinking. I don't know what the age is to drink in Thailand, but she goes to bars and clubs. So.
I think it's 5.
5. So yeah, so she was I would say in her late teens, and she's displaying some odd behavior here and there, and the camera crew is kind of capturing some of it. She's acting like a child and like pushing kids and making them cry, kind of like Raven Shadow.
I don't listen. Any kid that made cry fucking deserved it.
They had it coming. They know what they did.
Yeah. You fucking know you called outside the fucking lines, asshole. That's not how you play with action figures. You don't smash them together, son. Those are collectibles. She was a bad girl. She was a bad girl a little bit.
She was, especially when she gets fired. But that's beside the point. So there are some things happening to her. So the family thinks that Bayan is kind of calling to her to now take over, have her be her shaman and accept Bayan into her, and she doesn't, kind of like her mother, she doesn't want this. And her mother turned to Christianity or Catholicism. I'm not sure which denomination it was, but it was some form of Christianity, because she didn't want to accept the blessing of Bayan so badly that she turned to Christianity, which is kind of an interesting concept there.
Right. It's almost like they were like conduits for this. They were like the earthly representation of these beings.
Yeah, exactly. They were sort of represent them. They can speak to them, speak for them, sort of. So Raven Shadow, you would make a great shaman because you do a lot of talking for everyone else. So
I would be a good shaman. Don't squeeze a shaman, motherfucker. Come on now.
No, in this case, you want everyone to squeeze the shaman.
I did touch me.
Yeah,
Somebody touched me.
Exactly. So that's when they decide to focus on Mink and the rest of her family because she is displaying some odd behavior, and it seems like Bayan is going to select her, and that's when we kind of start to focus on their story and find out more about it. And it is. I will say that this is a pretty slow build, but goddamn, I think if you I personally think if you stick with this, you will be rewarded by the end.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's kind of like a rough synopsis of what the main plot is. Now let's get some fresh hot takes, some steaming hot takes right now. And did this documentary style work for you? And do you think that it helped tell the story that they were trying to tell, MZ?
What they had going on early on was interesting. It dealt with shamanism and a very interesting take on this subject. And the character of Nim, I thought, was played out really, really well. I thought she was real good in this. And things were, I mean, like you were saying, it's a slow build. It's a very slow build. This is almost agonizingly slow. But at some point, the whole dynamic changes. The perspective starts to change. They start putting in CCTV footage.
Yep. And
it starts to take on a more theatrical appearance rather than a authentic documentary feel, which is what we were feeling in the first half of the film. The camera crew was rather intrusive and going into private areas where I don't think it was very necessary. And I think a lot of that should have just been, all that stuff should have been taken out of the film and shortened the running time on this 2-hour plus long film. But it starts to get into the more theatrical nature of the film. And I wanted it to stay within that that documentary feel that we felt for the first hour or so. When things start getting a little crazy, that's when things start taking a more theatrical feel, and I started losing interest in the characters and in the film, to be perfectly honest. And then suddenly, not suddenly, but also around that hour mark, it started to take on just about every stereotypical trope that you could find in the found footage possession subgenre. I was hoping for something new here because of the way the film was being treated in the first half. And ultimately, it just ended up becoming just another cog in the found footage possession subgenre. What might save this film is the way it looked in the beginning, because there was some really great static shots of just the layout of, what is it called? Isan? Is that the name of the town? Isan in Thailand?
Yeah.
Yeah, really nice stuff, really cool stuff. But unfortunately, it's that theatrical. It's the theatrical look of the film that kind of dissuades me away from it, because I was really looking forward to that documentary feel. Unfortunately, it gets lost as the film goes on.
All right. How about you, Aries? I know you can be critical about these things, about whether or not it's necessary. How did you feel?
I mean, the first hour of this movie, it dragged on for me. It definitely had an authentic documentary feel, which to this movie it did it a disservice, because it was exhausting to get to the second half of this movie. But it didn't stay true to its documentary roots with the second half of this movie. It did turn into more cinematic, as MZ was speaking of, which I would have been more interested if the whole movie was more of that. The runtime needed to be shrunk down, but they didn't. You know what? I this is my go-to, and I will go to it again. They didn't stick to their rules that they established early on in this movie. Because it was a documentary that was very low budget from the feel that you get from this first half of this movie. I didn't feel that these cameramen or anyone involved would have a stake in this. As shit started to happen, that they're still going to keep a camera on their shoulder. Like, everyone's just gonna turn tail and run. Like, I did not buy the continuation of the documentary as shit got real, and that is the major problem with this movie.
All right, Raven Shadow, how about you? You have any thoughts about the documentary style?
No, I mean, I would kind of agree with my brothers, but and listen, I'm fine with this genre. I just feel that we've watched a lot of documentary shit in the last couple of weeks. Even I get fucking turned off. Like, I am sick of fucking Marvel superheroes at some point. You know what I mean? Like, can we put fucking Citizen Kane on? Or maybe not Citizen Kane. Maybe.
What the fuck?
Like, it just was like, I just feel we've watched a lot of this stuff back to back to back to back to back. And that can be a little bit redundant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you. Okay.
On you.
All right. So for me, I actually thought the documentary style, brought me closer to these characters in a sense, because I feel like the acting was genuine. Like, I felt like they did a good job of portraying this as a documentary for me. And I feel that brought me deeper into their story and also into their family, which made me more emotionally connected to them. If this was just a movie, I'm not sure. I think it's a framing conceit, the way the narrative conceit, I should say. I feel like if it was just a normal kind of third person movie, I feel like some would have been lost. But the documentary style brought me into these characters because they can speak directly to the audience about their experiences, right? Whereas otherwise you'd have to show more, and I feel that wouldn't work as well in this, especially for a movie that's 2 hours and 10 minutes as it is. I personally didn't feel the length of the movie. Like, I thought it was fine. I didn't think it was too long. Maybe there could have been some moments where they could have trimmed a little bit, but it didn't really occur to me after I watched the movie that, oh man, they really could have cut this out or that. But I feel that the documentary style played into its own hand. And for me, that was a good thing, because I did feel like I was able to connect more with the characters, especially the character of Nim. I thought was an especially sympathetic character. I really liked her character because she kind of didn't want to be the medium for Bayan, but in a sense ended up taking it on And as we find out throughout the movie, there may have been more to it than we initially thought. So I thought that a lot of that stuff was really good, and it also allowed for some interesting ways to show how the possession was manifesting in Mink. Because of the documentary style of like a camera crew following her around. So for me, it worked. I can completely understand being a little tired and fatigued by this because, yes, we have seen a lot of them lately, and I actually didn't realize this was going to be quite like this. But yeah, for me it worked. So I'm kind of curious about the performances. Did you guys feel that the performances worked for the style of film that they went with?
I have a problem. I mean, I've said this in the past with the foreign language. It's a little bit of a disconnect for me because I can't tell whether someone is overacting or just a decent actor or just phoning it in because of that language barrier. So I have a problem telling about the verbal acting. The physical acting did seem a little over the top at times for me.
All right. MZ?
No, I thought the actress who played Nim was quite good. She was, as you said, a sympathetic character. She didn't, not only does she, hesitantly accepted the
accepting
what is it?
Bayan.
Bayan. Accepting Bayan. Not only that, but also having to deal, being responsible for trying to, cure Mink of what ails her, as well as learning the truth about why she, about why she's why she is I guess the carrier of Bayan's spirit. I guess that's how you would phrase it.
Yeah.
So you'll learn a little bit about the family history as to, regarding that. I thought the performances were okay considering. I thought things started getting a little over the top towards the end, because we've seen it all before, and I just feel like, man, there's got to be a different way in this day and age to show demonic possession. Yeah, it's been the classic way it's been done now for decades, and maybe that is the textbook way of going about it. But after a while, it starts to lose its luster. And the only way you can make it scary is by its presentation. And even the presentation starts to become a little tired. So what can you do to make it fresh? The director is a skilled director. He created Shudder. And Shudder is one of my all-time favorite South Asian horror films, and he's a smart dude. He knows what he's doing, but it's time to start breaking outside the box and delivering something new. I'm not saying it should have been rested on him. I'm not saying that, but after a while, it's the whole possession thing starts to wear a little thin because it's the same thing over and over.
MZ, if you can solve that problem, I am on board with that because it is getting comical with the possession. So that is your task. Solve that problem. Make possession not comical nowadays.
Easy.
I'll get right on it.
Yeah.
After he
peasy, George and Weasel.
After he finishes resetting up his room there. So yeah, there's I could see this being one of those films that's kind of walking a tightrope because, yeah, we have seen a lot of documentary style films recently, so I get the fatigue aspect of it. I could totally see that. But there was an aspect of this I thought was super interesting aside from all of that, and just trying to talk about it without giving too much away. But the idea of belief, I guess, right? Like beliefs are challenged a lot in this, and whether or not you believe in a certain thing, or if you want to believe, or if you feel like you're forced into believing, I thought that element of this was really interesting, and that's one of the things that I found was the most captivating, I think, as well as the performances. Just trying to think about how all the characters feel, and deep down, do they believe in the things that they're talking about or discussing or seeing or what, and I thought that was kind of an interesting angle of it. Yeah, Raven Shadow?
Well, that could be a true thing about any kind of mystical element, or
absolutely, yeah.
Whether you're a Jedi, or whatnot, is your belief in it. And so I kind of dig what you're saying about that.
Yeah.
It's your true belief.
And
even and not to cut you off, but even in the comics, when there was an issue where the X-Men fought Dracula, and Dracula's coming at Wolverine, and he put his claws up like a cross, and Dracula's like, motherfucker, you don't believe in fucking Jesus, and
right.
swat him away, you don't have the belief in that. Or even down to Rogue One, where my power is the Force. I'm not doing it just, but the Force is strong with me. That kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
I am one with the Force. The Force is one with me, or something like that, right?
Yeah, right. And maybe this dude is just fucking lucky, and the bombs aren't hitting him, or maybe he's just fucking vibing with the Force. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I am one with the Force, and the Force is with me. That's what he kept saying.
Yeah.
Your boy Donnie Yen cheered him away.
Fucking Donnie Yen, call me.
There are many forces like this, but this one is mine.
But I think belief is the part of any kind of ritual or spirituality. Or do you believe? Do you really fucking believe in it? I think is what you're referring to.
Yeah. Well, thank you for speaking for me, Raven Shadow. I feel like I did a good job of actually stating what I meant, but hey.
I'm speaking near you.
For those in the back that only understand Raven Shadowisms.
He was dumbing it down for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Could put on that.
But also, it goes through the same, like I was saying before, it goes through the same tropes of possession constantly. Especially when the scene came up where they started installing cameras into the house, and you got night vision going on, and you got the timer in the corner, and you got the green layout, and of course you got Mink, who is doing possession textbook possession 101. Walking oddly, pissing in the kitchen, and even a little bit of animal torture here and there. So,
well, I don't mean to cut you off, MZ, but I think they're doing it a certain way because that's what's been documented, right? If it's cinematic shorthand. If you want to tell a possession story, you lean on the narrative devices that have come before you. Now, granted, yes, you could do something different and do it any way you want, but if you're telling a story like this, it's clear possession is a part of it early on. There's no masquerading that. It's in your face, so they're giving you the sort of tried and true methods, which I personally didn't have a problem with, but I also understand the gripe about wanting something a little bit different from that.
Now, I thought it was a little different in the whole aspect. It seemed more of animalistic with her. She would, because they actually spoke of being possessed by multiple beings. So I thought a lot of the manifestation was actually like a hound of hell. Like it seemed more of an animal than a demon for a lot of the time with that.
Yeah, that was interesting, and that was maybe the only interesting aspect about this whole thing was the fact that it's not just one, it's multiple, and usually it is just one. So, but unfortunately, I just didn't feel like the result, matched the danger.
I love that analogy too, where he said it was the master. I don't remember the character's name, the one who was running the ceremony, where he said it's like leaving keys in a running car, like you're inviting anybody in, and to
I love that.
Yeah, and to drive it and to do whatever they want in the car. So I thought that was a great analogy for that. Because she is this shell, and they went through that sort of like acceptance ceremony with some randos, and it basically invited anyone in who wanted to get in, and that's So I thought that was interesting and different, because typically we don't see it like that. We see Pazuzu or whatever, like there's just like one demon haunting. But in this case, there was more going on, and because of they presented this idea of animism, where it could have been all these things, and the place where the possession happened. I don't want to say too much about it, but I thought that was a great setting, and especially given what they talked about, it was almost like all these discarded spirits kind of flocked to this one place. Because it was decrepit and old and abandoned. And I thought that was a really cool way of telling that, of telling that story of how that happened. So, I think that there was some cool stuff in this. And back to the belief stuff, that's the stuff that really resonated with me is, like, and seeing this family, like we almost got different angles from all three of the siblings. We have Nim, Noi, and I know.
Noi and shit.
Manit, Manit. So the three siblings were Nim, Noi, and Manit, and so they all had like kind of differing views on things. Whereas Nim was the one who accepted Bayan and became the medium and the shaman for that entity, and then Noi was the one who discarded her spirituality for Christianity, and then we also had Manit, who was the brother of them, who almost seemed to be kind of in the middle, right? Like he did attend church, if I'm not mistaken, with Noi, but he also was quick to call Nim when something was going on with the daughter Mink. He was quick to call and kind of on the down low try to get Nim to help Mink. So I thought it was interesting seeing the difference in belief in all three of those characters. And one character's arc ended or like ended sooner than I imagined, and that was actually, that kind of threw me for a loop, and also kind of showed me that anything fucking goes in this. And there's also a revelation at the end that I won't say, that I thought was very poignant and very, very beautiful. And it goes, well, I don't know about beautiful, but very poignant, and goes back to that thing about belief, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and also I do want to comment too on the ceremonies that they performed. I thought they all looked really, really cool. There was the one where Nim performed near the tree where the brother committed suicide. And she kept it going for days. Like, I thought that was really cool, like creating this sort of like grid of all those possessions of Mink's possessions and the candles. I thought that was a really, really cool and really well done. And then obviously the big ceremony at the end, where all the candles and they had like the rope or the string tied around their heads. I thought a lot of that stuff looked really, really awesome. So, and who knows, maybe that is a part of their religious practice that they use in Thailand. I have no point of reference when it comes to that, so I don't know, but on screen it looked pretty interesting and it looked really cool.
It looked authentic.
Yeah.
It looked like it did look genuine, like an actual religious ceremony.
Yeah.
Or maybe possession, maybe something else. I don't know, but it did look on camera. It looked good.
And and it's one of those things that, whenever you have a possession film, it's always going to be compared to The Exorcist. You can't do possession without being compared to The Exorcist. So you have to do something different, or try to one up it or something. You can't do exactly what The Exorcist did, because when you think of exorcism, it's like Kleenex. Like Kleenex is now like a noun, right? Like when someone says give me a tissue, some people might say give me a Kleenex, right?
Right.
So,
it's like it's not a Q-tip, it should be a cotton swab.
Right. So, and it's almost
when
like
the brand takes over the
and that's kind of what the Exorcist does for possession films, right? Like that's what you think of when someone says possession. You immediately go to The Exorcist. So you have to do something different from that, or to set yourself apart from that. And while I didn't like this film as much as I liked The Wailing, which some of the folks who were involved in this, I think the writer of this directed The Wailing. The Wailing for me is fucking one of the best exorcism movies ever, and that is including The Exorcist. I thought The Wailing was fucking amazing. And I think that this also did some very cool stuff, and it set itself apart. That's the thing I'm looking for is, do you set yourself apart from The Exorcist? Yes or no? And then it's sort of like this flow chart from there. And this, for me, checked that yes box. It set itself apart. You saying something, MZ?
No.
Oh, I thought your lips were moving. You're probably lying.
No. My lips were moving. I was just.
I'm just kidding.
See, I don't think this movie did set itself apart from The Exorcist. I thought this movie tried to follow along with The Exorcist, just outside of Catholicism, and just tried to make, forgive me for not knowing their religion, whatever religion this is, this version of The Exorcist. I felt that they mirrored a lot of it. I thought this was just very. They were trying to piggyback on the success of The Exorcism.
Well, I mean, I don't know if well, those are your words, Ari, so I'm not going to dispute them. But
no. That's my opinion.
But I think that that was, what year was The Exorcist, MZ? 76? 73? Wow. Yeah. Okay, that's even earlier than I thought. Obviously, I don't know if there's any piggybacking this, almost 50 years later. But who knows? Maybe there's not many. This was a South Korean. It was like a joint South Korean Thailand production. But maybe there hasn't been much of this in Thailand. So in a sense, maybe bringing it to that film market, maybe this does feel new and different because maybe they haven't had much in the way of exorcist-like films. So that is something to keep in mind as well. We don't know what the film culture is there. I mean, I personally don't. So it is possible that they were like, you know what, let's bring a possession film to Thailand because it's never been done before, or it's been done rarely or something. So, that's one of those interesting things you just never know about films from other countries.
And perhaps piggybacking isn't the correct term. Like, I it's not like an insult necessarily.
Yeah.
I just like they were just kind of, following,
borrowing or aping.
Borrowing, yeah. You see a successful film, you want to make a successful film, so you're going to try to mirror some of what they did.
Aries wants to make a sexational film.
Yes, I don't know what that means, but yes.
A trilogy.
Sexational trilogy.
Well, what this film, I mean, if you see what there's a lot in common with possession films from The Exorcist till now, is that it's the majority. I'm not saying every single one of them does this, but this is the majority, a huge majority, by the way, and that is that for some reason these stories all seem to center around someone of the female persuasion being possessed. Very rarely, if ever at all, do you ever see this any movies where someone of the male persuasion is possessed.
Well,
and I never really seem to understand why that is.
Demon comes to mind.
Demon?
Yeah.
Yeah, this picture with the church and the.
No. Demon was the Polish film.
The wedding.
With the wedding, yeah, where the guy gets possessed. That's the first one that comes to mind.
Okay. All right. Well, there is one. You know.
Well, I think it's partially sexist and partially the showing. You know, because you'll have a small, weak, young woman, and then she'll have the power of a demon. So it just emphasizes the power of that demon.
Well, that's what I figured too. But I mean, it's been played out for far too long, and it's always a young girl too. That's from like Exorcist, of course, and this film, and films like The Tempter from 1976, I want to say. Decent movie. Orgy from Hell sequence is pretty sweet. But I don't know. It's time to try something new in the possession game. I mean, and I'm always one to say that, the found footage always gets me. I just love it. Yes, it's repetitive, and I see a lot of things happening over and over and over again. I mean, but I don't know why, but for some reason this one just did not click for me. Because and it happens all the time, especially nowadays in the past, say, 15 years or so. Whenever you have a character, is that possessed character in frame of a camera, say like the static cameras that they have in the house that are filming the night scenes. Whenever you see the character leave the frame, it always pops up right in front of the camera.
Yeah.
For that quick jolt of fear. And it's like, okay, yeah, it'll work on somebody who doesn't usually watch these kind of things, but somebody like me, once you've seen it 100 times, you've seen it 1,000 times, So,
well, that's some fuzzy math right there.
Yeah,
I know, right?
To defend that, this is someone's first possession movie, so that jump scare would probably work on them.
Yes, I agree.
But that jump scare wasn't overdone in this movie.
No, I agree. The tension was building up on a too slow of a basis, and the jump scares that they have in this movie are minimal at best, which I'm fine with, But like I said, once I've seen it, my fuzzy math. If I've seen it 100 times, I've seen it 1,000 times.
Because it was done so infrequently, I'm fine with it in this movie. But since you're going to tackle the new possession, how to portray the new possession in the movies, and you need a new possessionee, I'd like to volunteer for that, not being a young female.
You're not a young female?
I am not a young female.
Man,
believe it or not, I am not young.
All of our demographic stats are going to be fucked up now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So, MZ, I will play your possessed person when you solve that how to make a good possession film.
I think it needs to be downplayed a bit. I think it needs to be a bit more subtle.
I can be subtle.
Well, here's So I actually just kind of looked it up because I mean you do bring up a good point, MZ. I hadn't really thought too much about it. I'm not the biggest fan of possession films. I mean, I for the most part I like them. I have no problem with them, but like there is a lot of them out there. Like The Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Last Exorcism, The Devil Inside, The Possession, Sinister. And that's just a handful of the top ones that I saw. But so I looked. Repossessed. Yeah. I think that's a little different.
Thank you.
Let's not mess with a masterpiece.
Yeah. But I did look it up, and I found an article on bitchmedia.org, appropriately enough. And it says in most...
We have some friends on that site, don't we?
I don't know, do we? Or are you making it funny, Raven Chow? Are you making it funny at their expense? At Bitch Media's expense?
No, at our friend's expense.
All right. So the title of this article is, In most films about demonic possession, women are simply vessels. And so it says, demonic possession story, and this is actually kind of what we were talking about. Let me actually get the author by Emily Gaudette. So if folks want to look this up, in most films about demonic possession, women are simply vessels, is the title of this. It says, demonic possession stories on film began with that groundbreaking, shocking moment where Reagan sticks a crucifix in her vagina in The Exorcist. But creativity in the genre has dissipated since. Demonic possession films have suffered from a lack of originality, especially in regard to gender roles. The vessel chosen by each masculine gendered demon is a young, attractive woman. When a demon possesses a girl, movies often run through checklists of behaviors, body contortions, for example, and a new uncharacteristic penchant for foul sexual language. Actually, this movie did have that.
Yes, it did.
That scene where, yes, where she reached down to her pants and
yeah. Yep. And right all over her uncle.
Yeah, all over her uncle, yep. So it says, it's easy to see what draws tired, uncreative artists and audiences to films like this. The promise of seeing a virginal, innocent girl manipulated into something monstrous. Demonic possession films in the last decade don't tend to victimize able-bodied men. Instead, heroic men are usually the characters who have to look inside themselves, forgive their own faults, and avenge the female victim. The most recent addition of this to the litany of demonic possession films is Deliver Us from Evil, which opened in July 2017. It's not a well-made movie, although its cast is more impressive than your average summer throwaway horror flick. Eric Bana, Eric, how do you say it, Raven Shadow? Bana? Or Bana? It's Bana, Eric Bana?
Oh, you mean the dude from...
Eric
Chopper and
Hulk? Yeah, Chopper and Hulk, yeah. Eric Bana.
Yeah,
Bruce Bana.
That's what pissed me off, was that he played Bruce Banner, but he's Bruce Banner.
Eric
I actually did see that movie now that I remember it, because I remember Eric Bana in that, and says he gives his most boring performance ever as a Bronx cop, Ralph Sarchi, but he's supported by a believable Olivia Munn as Sarchi's wife, Jen, and a near sociopathic Joel McHale as a police officer who wears a backwards baseball cap.
Oh, really? Joel McHale's in it?
Yeah, your boy.
I'll watch that.
Joel McHale from Toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your favorite show, MZ, right?
It was. It was a good show. I did like it.
So I'm not going to go through the whole article, but it actually does bring. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, MZ, because that's very astute on your part. I wouldn't have expected it from you, but look at you, surprising me all over the place here. But yeah, it is. I mean, and the thing is, in this, it doesn't tell you what a gender the demon is, because it's kind of multi possession. But yeah, in other possession films, that is an issue where, like, men or in seemingly masculine demons inhabit a young, innocent girl's body, and they are saved by, like I would say, middle-aged men trying to overcome some great, like trauma or past or history in order to save the young girl, right? It's kind of ridiculous thinking about it.
Or
unless it has something to do with their virginity. Maybe there's a thought that, there's nothing more pure than a virginal girl. I don't know. Maybe their virginity has something to do with it. I don't know.
I just think that that's ass backwards anyways to even think that nowadays. But regardless, it is kind of it's an interesting thought. I mean, we don't really have the bandwidth or the time to dive into it right now, but just something to bring up, kind of food for thought. It would be interesting to get a different take on it. And, calling out Demon as one is one that's out there. I know there are others. Corny actually called out Fallen, that Denzel joint. Raven Shadow, you seen that one?
Oh, no. I saw the trailer.
What the fuck?
So
no,
the short answer is no.
Yeah, so the answer is no.
I didn't the fucking Corny loves the fucking Fallen too. We talk about it all the time. But yeah.
Well, there's a sequel, The Fallen 2?
Yeah, Fallen, and more Fallen.
It's got Denzel, John Goodman, Donald Sutherland, and also Elias Koteas.
Oh, Casey Jones, like a motherfucker.
And James Gandolfini, your boy.
Jesus Christ, you need a minute by yourself?
Yeah.
It's good for the goose.
It's good for the Gandolfini.
Gandolfini the Gray. There you go.
So yeah, I'm sure there are others out there, but yeah, it's hard. You'd be hard pressed because thinking of all those possession films, it's like The Haunting of so and so, of Emily, blah 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 blah, or like there's so many of them. So
it ain't the fucking haunting of like fucking Alan Schwarzenegger. You know what I mean? Like it ain't the haunt.
Jesus Christ!
It ain't the haunting of.
All right, I have an idea how to blow this possession genre wide open. So,
thank you.
Any of the filmmakers out there who want to make $1 million, contact me.
What they want to make only $1 million?
Millions. Sorry. I want to make $1 million. They can make millions, plural.
Well, what's the elevator pitch?
Yeah, what's the?
No. I am not giving this shit away for free.
Oh.
I figured it out.
So here's the premise.
Contact me.
There's a god of war. There's a bad god of war, and you can possess it.
No. I got it down. I figured it out through our discussion. I figured it out.
Wow.
Will you
contact me.
Can you put it in the group chat?
No. I'm not letting you motherfuckers in on this.
Yeah, he could print money. It sounds like he's got it figured out.
Oh yeah, I got it all fucking figured out.
Aries is like Bjork. He's a fucking army of me right now. He's fucking all by himself right now.
I'll share when I make the millions, but I want to make the millions first.
All right. Aries will invite you to the production meeting. Okay. All right. I want to start to wrap.
But
this.
he wanted.
No, go ahead, Ebsy. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I won't be invited.
Oh, you're still sore about that. Jesus, wasn't even his wedding. It was his son's wedding. His son didn't invite you, and you're mad at Aries. His son beat you up when he was 2 years old or 3 years old, whatever it was.
MZ, yes. Quick. Yes, what's my kid's name? Quickly.
Eric.
Eric Draven.
Perfect.
All right. So that's it. You're done.
Yep,
you can't complain anymore.
How could you forget? How could you forget?
And don't move.
Jeez.
And don't move out of state because of that. I don't know what you're fucking doing over there, but I'm fucking concerned.
It's Andy. It's Andy.
Took a little bit.
Dandy.
Evil Corny says, Aries, what is the Cash App, please? And then he says, how about a possessed Roomba? That's pretty innocent.
That would make a good short because Roomba's pretty like isolated.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So before we head to the verdict, I want to know what you guys thought of the end. Obviously, without giving spoilers away, did you like the end? And if so, did it save the slower pace of the movie for you? Raven Shadow, you get your hand up. You go first.
I do. So, I mean, like, Marion tells me that I use words that nobody understands. So
it takes her to tell you?
Make them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, sucks, don't it?
She's much prettier than you guys. But like, so if I say I popped when this was the most like found footage documentary style movie that I probably popped for in a long time. It's just that, you know what I mean? You saw some stuff. This is no Blair Witch. This was no fucking whatever the fuck the first Blair Witch was.
Whatever the fuck.
The last broadcast where you got to figure shit out. Like, you saw some stuff in this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Just because you say you know what I'm saying doesn't mean we know what you're saying.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm asking the question.
All right.
Sometimes,
let me answer that question forever and ever. We never know what you're saying.
Know what I'm saying?
No, Johnny knows what I'm saying. But sometimes, know what I'm saying is an exclamation point, and sometimes it's a question. But I feel that Johnny knows what I'm saying. I feel that you, Aries, that's you, know what I'm saying. I'm like, too. The more you're around me, the more you understand the fucking beeps and the fucking whatever the fuck.
So not only am I supposed to understand what you're saying, I'm supposed to know whether you mean it as an explanation point or a question.
Yes.
Yeah, I never know.
It's been
so I'm going to go back to my original statement. No one ever knows what you're saying when you say, know what I'm saying.
I thought you knew me.
No.
He ain't your homie.
I'm confused now. But there was like some fucking crazy fucking green light fucking night vision shit going on. There's no fucking kid in the corner in this fucking movie. It fucking spells it out.
Yeah,
Why
it
is fucking this one fucking Johnny's Secret's in the fucking bottom of the screen fucking going on, fucking scratching his head? No, but like there was some shit. I'm concerned, Johnny. I am concerned about everything going on over there in Grafton. I don't like it. I don't fucking like it. But I don't. I'm concerned.
He's talking to you.
I love Corny.
I think you're suspect, Monster Zero.
I think he is a suspect or he's suspect.
I think you're both. But no, there was some great night vision denouement shit going on. That hey,
night vision denouement shit.
Yeah. All right. Aries, you can retort.
Oh no! I let me speak for Corny. Bless your heart.
He did say bless your heart. Yeah.
To me?
Yeah. Bless Raven Shadow's heart.
No, he didn't say that.
I mean, I don't do accents and I don't do, women, but bless your heart.
Wow. Okay.
We did. That's a shocker. Aries doesn't do women.
I would edit the woman.
Timestamp that because I wish I'd say never to say that again, but I'll probably say that again.
Oh shit!
All
right. So after all that, I think Raven Shadow liked the end. I think.
Why? I mean, why? You didn't answer the fucking question.
I feel it was clear. I feel that. I feel the emotionality
Go back
was.
When you go back and listen to this. Think of that. Okay.
Yeah.
when you're listening to yourself,
All right,
think about how
passed.
clear it is.
All right, well, what are you gonna do? It's been a long fuck.
Then you'll know
What are you
we
going to do?
were.
You're going to ask Marion to listen and go, what did I say wrong?
Marion.
All right. Anyone else want to comment on the ending and give me something that I can actually understand?
The ending, it does have it does bring the gore. Okay, I'll definitely throw that in there. But it is a little disjointed, mostly because I don't want to give away too much.
Don't.
But this what?
Don't give it away then. Talk about it without giving
I'm
it away.
not going to give it away. No, that's the plan, dude.
Yeah, but sometimes you fail. So
No, I don't. Is that it's hard to determine who or I would say who gets possessed and why. That's all I'll say. Why and why not? I'll just leave it at that.
All right.
It was that was a little disjointed. Plus, it also, like I said before, it left that that documentary style, and it went towards cinematic in a couple of shots. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about the ending. It does bring gore, though. If you want your violence, if you want your blood, you're going to get it. But there's more to it than just that.
And how about you, Aries? The end.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the whole why are people getting possessed and who and whatnot, I kind of chalked that up to not fully understanding the religion that this was based on. And because of that, I was able to possibly suspend my disbelief with certain things, like, oh, this is just the norm, because normally I'm looking at a possession film from Catholicism, and this wasn't that. So it's like, okay, so I gotta take away what I know. Like, so the demons move in a different way in this religion, and I felt that kind of helped with the ending. But as far as the MZ, you keep on mentioning the cinematic aspect of the ending of this, and I will agree that the further into this movie you got, the more of a movie this became. And there were shots where it's like, okay, I don't think a cameraman would film himself dying. Like, and there was a couple of that, and it's just like that really pushed it beyond the documentary for me.
And there may have been some. There may be definitely some that I'm not thinking of right now, but when something like that happened, it seemed like the cameraman dropped the camera or something like that. But I agree. Sometimes they would pick it up, and I would be like, "What are you doing? Just fucking run," Like, so I get you. There is this wasn't, to me, this wasn't trying to be a found footage and playing like. It was playing a little hard and fast with those rules, and I know that you can tend to have a problem with that area, so I get that. For me, I think I said it already, but I really dug the ending of this. I think that it wasn't batshit crazy, but it went far enough off the deep end from the path that it was on. Like, it was on this sort of like normal, sort of like some crazy stuff happened, but then the last 20 minutes, it's almost like, I don't know, let's say you're watching a concerto, Raven Shadow, you're watching this classical piece, and it's so nice, you're just sitting there, you're enjoying it, and then all of a sudden, the last 2 minutes, they break out fucking the blast beats and the metal guitar and the power chords, and it's like, and it's real heavy and fast, and it just kind of blows your mind. And that feels like the heaviest thing ever because of the pace they were on prior, right? So it's like 0 to 60. And because of that, the 60 feels like you're going fucking Mach 5 or something, right? So I feel because of the way that this was set up, that end, even though it wasn't the craziest ending I've ever seen in a movie by far, I feel like it felt like it was more overboard than it actually was because of the previous pace and because of the documentary style. So I feel like it was this big high spot that worked exceptionally well because of that. And I didn't know what was happening because this went in a different direction than I anticipated. That was one of the nice things that I liked about this. It wasn't, in that sense, it didn't go the tried and true method of resolution in a possession film. It went in a kind of a little different way, and that's one of the things I did like about it. And the end, how do I say this without giving much away? The very last shot that they showed, they sort of went back chronologically and insert a piece that they recorded earlier that gave everything a nice conclusion, talking about the belief that I had referenced earlier. And I thought that was almost a bit of a gut punch ending. Like, not a very subtle gut punch ending, not like in your face, like, oh man, like The Mist or something like that. But it was a subtle gut punch that makes you reevaluate some of the stuff that you saw prior to that. And I love that. I love that it makes you, whoa, let me go back and like kind of like see how did this change that, or how does this, and then you're like, oh shit, okay, maybe this is something else then. And I like that. I really dug that. And I thought it was, at first I was like, that's it, that's the end. But on hindsight, after sitting with it for a few minutes, I was like, wow, like that's a pretty ballsy, powerful way to end it. So for me, that totally worked. I loved that they had set this pace and then they kicked it up like to like fucking Mach 5. I love the pace, and I love the decision to have the end the way they ended it. That's all I'll say. I won't say any more than that. So, well, I think we can probably head to a verdict on this one now. I think we've exhausted a lot of the discussion, so let's do that.
Trick or treat, baby.
I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, it is verdict time. We're going to let you know whether the medium was a trick or a treat, and any final thoughts we may have, starting with Monster Zero.
One of the things that I found interesting, and one thing that I actually liked, we didn't talk about it, was the use of the title, not the title cards, but the text cards. They kind of felt like chapter stops. It wasn't on the nose. It didn't say, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. But they were nicely spaced out throughout the film. And it kind of gave you a little break. In what you're watching, but yet advancing the story. So you see that about, not counting night 1, night 2, night 3 with the cameras inside the house filming the nights. But they were nicely spaced out. There was about maybe 4 or 5 stops like that. So, and they were nicely paced out throughout the entire movie. I just wanted to get that off my chest. This is supposed to be a found footage film or a documentary style film, and it turns into cinematic film. And that starts to change about halfway through the film. And the scares don't really start, or scares, I should say, because honestly, this movie is really not that scary to me. Starts about halfway through. We've gone through all the tropes. We've seen it all before. This is not breaking any new ground. It's not opening up any doors to create something new. The performances, for the most part, are decent. It's the execution that's the problem. And I really kind of wish they stuck with the documentary style feel. And also not to be so intrusive. I think they could have shaved off a good 17, 18 minutes off of this movie. Not being so intrusive. But there are things to like about this film. There's a lot to look at. It's nicely shot. The static shots of Thailand, it looks really, really nice. It's got a certain atmosphere to it that's really engaging. But overall, in the end, I'm going to have to give this a trick. I just don't see the payoff working through the 2 hours and 10 minutes that you have to watch. I think it's a little bit too long, and it sways away from what its original intent was, and that's a shame. So this, to me, is a trick.
All right, let's go to Aries next.
To kind of talk about what MZ had mentioned with the breaks in the movie, I thought that would have been better if they didn't break the same way with the scene breaks and the day breaks, because it was a different pacing for both of those. And if they just kept to the scene breaks and didn't found a different way to break for the different days for the camera shots, that kind of took me out of the whole thing. But all in all, this movie dragged out way too long for what it was. And it did change its tone as it went along. MZ kept on mentioning the cinematic aspect of it, and I will agree with that, because it did seem to kind of go to that. And if they had stuck to more of a documentary feel or the cinematic feel throughout the whole thing, it would have been better. And if they had just shrunk the runtime, it would have done itself a whole lot of good. But also, I mean, it was just a lot of nothingness going on without. They weren't even necessarily moving the story along with their downtime, because there wasn't much of a story to move forward. There was just some interesting aspects in a void. I found myself bored through a lot of this, waiting for the next interesting thing to happen. So I think you could probably do yourself a lot better by seeking out a different possession film. This movie is a trick for me.
All right, 2 tricks. Let's go to Michael Ravenshadow.
All right, if you had to pick 10 possession films, this. But I think truly, I think what Johnny mentioned earlier about the pacing in relation to the denouement of the picture. We are fucking hungry for something. Now, I still think from a documentary, found footage, whatever the fuck you want to call it, perspective, it did have a decent, payoff with the cameras. But what are you going to do? Means to an end. I thought the scenery was great. The shots were awesome. And maybe I'm just burned out. Maybe spend like a month doing fucking these pictures. If I watch this, Aries don't give a fuck. He's leaving.
I'm still here. I just gotta stand up.
Yeah, stretch your legs, baby. Come on now.
Yeah,
it's fun.
You are not the person to be giving him grief.
I'm not giving him grief.
I'm still here.
Bend with your knees. Wear a back brace. I'm concerned about you and I miss you. What I'm trying to say is, barely a trick. What are you gonna do? Can we watch a fucking movie without fucking the only cameras on the actors maybe for a while?
No, sorry. Raven Show, we watched Sons of Steel last week.
It's funny. I was thinking about Sons of Steel actually, in terms of being from different countries and whatnot. I feel I understand this movie more than fucking Sons of Steel, and they spoke English.
How's that possible?
Yeah, I don't know. I'd rather be in Thailand.
I'll buy you a ticket.
Oh shit! That the funny thing about that is considering who your favorite wrestler is and one of the movies that he put out.
I know. That was intentional.
Look at you with the jokes, the yucks.
I'm glad that was. If you got it, Johnny, it justifies the
All right. So for me, I guess I'm the only treat tonight. So I actually really dug this, and it is a slow burn. I'm gonna definitely say that right off the bat. This is not going to be everyone's bag, but if you enjoy this style of film, if you want to see a possession film from another country that does do something a little bit different, it does tackle a lot of the same tropes, but in a different way, and it kind of subverts expectations, especially as we're nearing the end of the movie. And I feel the documentary style worked well, and it actually enhanced the experience for me in this movie. And the ending I thought was phenomenal. So for me, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a treat. I dug the medium, and I think I think there is definitely an audience for this. The typical horror fan, this could be a hit or miss. So, use your discretion. Watch the trailer. I think the trailer is a pretty good indication of what you might get from this, and like your mileage may vary. But for me, this worked. I liked it, but I will agree with something that MZ said. I would like to see the director, Bang Jong Pisanthankun, tackle something, another sort of story in the horror sphere. Shudder was phenomenal, his first film, and I would love to see him tackle some more stuff, more maybe similar to that. So, all right, well, there you go. That is our discussion of The Medium. It is streaming on Shudder in at least in the U.S. I believe it's all throughout North America. So if you're in Canada, and it just popped up on there, so it's on Shudder if you guys want to give it a watch. Now, next week, we are going to do a film. It just hit VOD a couple weeks ago, and this is one that I've been kind of curious about, and we've been talking a little bit more about the director in the last few weeks. And the director is David Bruckner, who, as mentioned, is going to be directing the new Hellraiser movie. And David Bruckner has done a few films that we've checked out in the past. Specifically, he did the film, he did Amateur Night from VHS, which I think was all of our favorite segment, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was universally liked as the best. And also from Southbound, he did The Accident, which also was probably one of our most well-liked. You guys remember The Accident when it starts when the person goes flying out the window? Yeah, I thought that one was super, super good. He did The Ritual, that film that's on Netflix, which we also discussed. And Camping, the camping movie in the woods with the pagan deities. He did two.
Really?
Huh?
I said, really good for him. He made a giant pagan attacking a village movie.
He also did 2 episodes of the Creepshow TV series. I don't know if you know these ones offhand, MZ, but he did The Companion and The Man in the Suitcase.
The Man in the Suitcase, I remember, yeah.
Did you enjoy that one?
No.
No. All right. I guess he's not all hits. But he's also in post-production on Hellraiser. So And the film that he just released is The Night House. So we're going to check out The Night House. The synopsis: a widow begins to uncover her recently deceased husband's disturbing secrets.
Anything like The Lighthouse?
Thank you. Sequels to The Lighthouse. It sucks that Monster Zero and I are fucking so close at times. It scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's got Robert Pattinson masturbating in this.
yeah. It's a dark night for you. It's not a cum shot. It's a warning.
He's just Picarding so hard.
I just got to ask, is Night House one word or two?
Two.
Okay. Just in case I have trouble finding it.
Willem Dafoe's farting all.
That Batman trailer was dope, though.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say. Okay, so we'll cover that real quick. Raven Shadow, what did you think of The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson?
Yeah, B. Pats is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it looked like every other fucking Bat movie that's ever been around post fucking Nolan. On one hand's a little bit, but no, I'm very excited. I think it follows. We've never seen a bad Gordon or Alfred, and I think Gollum and the dude playing Gordon's gonna be dope. I thought
Gollum.
Selena looked sexy. Andy Sedaris.
Sedaris.
Is it Andy Sedaris? Andy Sedaris. I don't know. He was fucking Claw in Black Panther. I don't know what his name is. But Marion got excited when I showed the trailer. She's like, yo, Gollum's fucking Alfred. I'm like, word.
It's Andy Serkis, not Sedaris and not Sedaris.
It's Andy Serkis.
Yes.
Spell it, Johnny.
Serkis. Circus.
Well, how do you spell circus with the big top?
You know what? You can spell things differently and have it sound the same, Raven Shadow.
Phonetically, they call it, right, Johnny?
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, Andy Serkis, I guess.
You guess.
Yeah. Not Sedaris. I don't know, Gollum. Gollum's gonna be dope as fucking Ares is leaving, but he's still listening. I don't know where he's going.
I'll go for a walk.
I think go for a walk. Not the after dinner kind. It's a bad religion reference. But I think finally the fucking helmet looks like it should look in the books. I love the helmet. Looks fucking awesome. Yeah,
well, I mean, that all depends on the artist as to whether it looks appropriate.
But I think it finally is cinematically. It looks like that's a helmet that would move, right? We've had a lot of Batman, and you could argue those of us that were there, and I was there too, when everyone hated Mr. Mom playing Batman, and now 40, but over years later, everyone's like, "Oh, keep the best Batman." So for Twilight, go ahead, Aries.
Oh no! I'm just saying. Oh, I thought you were still arguing the helmets. Go ahead.
No, but I think Twilight's gonna probably kill it. I think he looked great.
Could you not call him Twilight?
Jesus Christ. The dude did like a series of films years ago. Why don't you call him Good Time?
All right, Good Time's gonna be a great time when he plays the Batman. No, I like the kid. He's fun. Fucking what was he? Hufflepuff.
The kid. Jesus Christ.
Potter movie. Was he Cedric the Entertainer?
Cedric.
What was he in Harry Potter?
The Entertainer.
You're exhausting. You know that, right?
I am exhausted. I've been going on fumes, Johnny. I'm having nightmares. I'm like Batman. I am having nightmares every night. Boy, you Cedric Diggory-Doo or some shit?
Oh my fucking God.
I like the kid.
His name was Cedric, yes.
Thank you. And he entertained, right?
Cedric the Entertainer.
Why do you give?
No, I think the kid will be fine. I think Selena looks hot. I like the Riddler symbol in the coffee cup. That got me excited.
Who's playing the Riddler? I don't think it's even been mentioned.
I don't even know.
How would they keep that secret?
It's a riddle.
No. It's an enigma.
Oh.
Ooh, look at you. Ares Enigma.
You know what? I gotta tell you, I wasn't that excited about this movie until this last trailer came out.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, it looks like every fucking Batman movie we've seen. I just hope it does look cool. It looks cool.
Oh, Paul Dano.
No,
is
this one actually
playing the Riddler.
Yeah.
This actually looks different than all the other Batman movies. This actually looks like they're actually making a detective movie.
That's what they said. They're like a 2 hour, it's like
3 hours.
3 hours.
It's got to be 3 fucking hours.
Buckle up, Raven Shadow.
This is gonna take Raven Shadow. It's gonna take you fucking weeks to get through this.
No, I saw fucking Endgame in theaters. No, I mean I might need some help. You know what I mean?
You need someone to hold your hand?
No.
Squeeze your balls when you pee.
What?
My
That's a
method
thing?
of watching
That's
movies
not where pee comes from, MZ.
It's like I'm falling asleep watching this picture. I better squeeze my balls so I can pee. No, that's not how it works.
MZ's got a weird fucking demented view of how the body works.
There's something going on over there, man.
Yeah, there is. You gonna get to the bottom of Raven Shadow? You gonna do a 3-hour detective story of your own?
Yeah, Ares. I'll be Batman, you be Robin, and let's go. We're gonna go investigate monsters.
Yeah, that's exactly how that's gonna work.
All right. I'll be Batman, and you be Ares. How's that?
I just want you to figure out one thing, and I'll let you go along with that.
All right. I'll be Booster Gold.
Marion says peas not stored in the balls. It's stored in Raven Shadow's shower.
Who said that?
Me. I said it.
I will say though, it's a small line, but the whole what I can't do it justice. It's not just a signal; it's a warning. That's a pretty fucking cool bit of business. I like that. That's sexy.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm excited. Yeah. Raven Shadow, did you watch the Flash preview? It wasn't a trailer. Did you watch the Flash thing?
It was some weird shit going on. It was noise.
It was a yes or no question. Did you watch the Flash thing?
Basically.
So
Jesus Christ.
You heard who was doing the narration?
I know it's Keaton, man.
It's Keaton.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I was confused.
What do you think?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Keaton is fucking dope. Keaton is fucking great. I want to watch the fucking McDonald's movie he did. I don't give a fuck about McDonald's.
Oh my god!
But I love Keaton. I love Keaton. I'll tell you right now. You don't fucking think you fucking know, but I'll tell you. I remember the fucking Keaton Jim Belushi sitcom they did back in the day, the hockey movie he did with the girl from Predator 2, Maria Conchita Alonso. I'm a Keaton mark, dog.
But yet you still haven't seen the McDonald's movie that's 3 years old.
The Founder. Well, yeah, it's on the fucking list. I'm still trying to get through fucking Titans season 2.
Yeah, Working Stiffs.
Did you see Birdman?
Yeah, Birdman was
Working
dope.
Stiffs.
Yeah.
Working
Raven
Stiffs.
Shadow.
There you go.
Working Stiffs. Yeah.
That was the name of the show. Yeah.
From 1979.
Oh, that was
I adore that fucking movie.
I know.
that movie.
You're falling in nice hole.
I want to eat dangerously. Yeah. No, I want.
Wait, what is it? What is the thing you used to play all the time, MZ? Oh my god!
Yeah. Griffin Dunn crashing in the car. Yeah. Oh my god! Wow!
Whoa! All right, Marion says, seriously, you guys have no idea how long it takes us to watch shows. I have an idea, but if it's even worse than I
Marion,
thought.
that's partially on you.
Involves a calendar.
You could just simply say, no, we're not pausing it.
No.
Yeah.
Don't say that, Marion.
Yeah.
Rimchip, why don't you just let her watch, just you walk away and then just let her watch it, okay?
Like a fucking prom. take the dog out. There's things downstairs.
You know what you do? You know what you do? You take Ollie out before you start a show, and then you get through a whole entire show. You get everything done first, then you sit down and you watch an entire show from front to back, no breaks.
Johnny, that's exactly what I fucking do. By the time I fucking do that, then just the fucking darkness sets in, and then I fucking.
Wait, are
I mean?
you talking about the outside or in your head?
Both. I'm not sure whichever comes first.
The
But
darkness
yeah,
sets in.
it's hard. It's hard over here. I miss you guys. You gotta come over. I got fucking medical problems.
Jesus Christ. I feel bad for all the people who have medical problems. And anxiety. That Raven Shadow, yeah. Got anxiety.
Marion, tell him.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. So we're not going to talk too much about fandom because we could go on for a while, and there's no
Lost Kingdom.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Globetrotting Adventures with fucking who's the fucking dude?
Who's the
Director.
fucking dude?
He's a maniac. Who's directing Aquaman?
And he's dancing like he's never danced before.
James Wan?
Who? What?
Jimmy Wan?
James Wan is doing Aquaman.
James Wan. Yeah, he's great.
James
kind of nuts.
James Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. All
All right. We do have a voice message.
Downstairs attempt to a
Blumpy.
A blonk.
He's gonna turn into a Blumpkin. Marion says there are 2 shows that he interrogates me about if I watch them without him. You interrogate her, Raven Channel? It's not nice.
No, I feel that she's suspect. And
Why is everybody suspect tonight? It's fucking rude.
Can't trust anybody.
If you're not going to watch them, you should let her watch them by herself.
Agreed.
I'm like Serpico.
Yeah.
All right.
Shouldn't be holding her to your viewing schedule, dude.
Yeah, don't hold her hostage.
You can't watch a movie. That's your own tough luck.
Or show.
Listen.
All right. Well, let's hear from Evil Corny. He's probably gonna run me amok. You know what? Get this, guys. He told me to go fuck myself last night on the Star Wars show. You believe that?
Oh, words.
Can
and
you
you're still
believe-
going to play his voicemail?
I thought twice about it.
Bless your heart, Johnny.
It's a miracle, Corny. I'm gonna play this. All right. Let's hear from the man.
Hey guys, I'm going to give The Medium a treat. Really enjoyed the film. I think Tim from Melbourne sent me the trailer for this a while back. I enjoyed that. The trailer reminded me a lot of The Wailing. One of the things about this film is after I start watching in a couple of minutes, I had to go back and make sure these were actors because it felt like it was actually a documentary. And I just thought it was done real well. It's a couple of portions at the end of it that I had problems with. But overall, like I said, I'm going to give us a treat. You all have a good one. Evil Corny out. What up, Raven Shadow?
What up, Corny?
Thanks for playing my message, Wolfie. I know how your computer doesn't really like me much, but I appreciate you looking out for me. Evil Corny out.
That would have been funny if I didn't play it. You're all right, Corny, all right?
Corny's better than all right.
I'm sure he regrets giving you the shout out this week.
No, Corny is
he
fucking
does.
Hellman's.
He's
what?
Hellman's?
Hellman's.
Hellman's?
Why
Like
is
mayonnaise?
that?
Best.
He's
best.
He's white and creamy? What?
No, brings out the best. He's great. Don't get fucking weird, Wolf. No, he's the best.
I don't like Hellman's.
I don't
Give
need
me-
it, but
I need a vegan mayo, Raven Shadow. Come on.
all right, he's fucking beyond.
Raven Shadow, go with just mayo. All right, that's the one.
He's avocado. I don't know what's vegan.
You don't know what's vegan.
I don't know what's vegan. I don't know. You. I guess.
You're
God,
you're embarrassing yourself in front of all the listeners, Raven Shadow.
Well, not the first time.
No, not.
Patreon's coming up. Blackout tapes. $2 a month.
All right, well, I think that's gonna do it. You guys have anything else you want to get off your chest before we end the episode?
I do. I got one thing. As I don't know, some people may have known, I helped Tiny with his little maze this year.
Yeah.
And I am very thankful that he allowed me to help him, because it was a lot of fun, and I love doing that kind of shit. And he felt the need to give me a gift for helping him, and it was very unnecessary. But I want to thank him on the air for giving me this great reciprocating saw.
Oh.
And this is not a cheap tool. And he remembered that through a casual conversation, I said I didn't have a cordless version of this. So he went out of his way, bought me this, and I just want to say thank you to Tiny on air for purchasing this for me.
That's awesome. What is a reciprocating saw? What does it reciprocate?
I mean, it's a I don't have the battery in it or the blade on it, so I can't demonstrate it right now.
You have words.
I have words. Yes. Well, I mean, it's a saw. I mean, the proper term for it would probably be a jigsaw. It is for fine cutting. You can cut in a pattern rather than a straight line.
Zero's like, yeah, posi traction. Yep.
Yeah.
I understand that.
I mean, I could cut a circle in this with this saw.
That's pretty awesome. That's really cool.
It is great, and it's something I've wanted, but I haven't, because I'm a cheap bastard. I don't spend money on myself. So.
Yeah, so he's gonna cut out his own glory holes in his own house. Watch this.
Oh my God.
Hey. Glory holes are with drills with the hole saw.
Yeah, you don't want any snags with the saw.
Aries, can you come over my house and bring that saw, please?
Jesus Christ. You mean the drill? You don't want Aries doing shit in your house because you get all bent out of shape when he takes your doors off.
Do.
You get anxiety.
No, I do get anxiety. I just want you to whisper in my ear and say it'll be okay.
What? While doing what?
So I gotta whisper it'll be okay, then I will put it back together. Isn't okay?
No, just tell me that you love me and that it'll be fine.
Whisper. Wait. So Raven Shadow wants Aries to whisper that he loves him into his ear and tell him it'll be okay while doing what?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna ask the question. No, you don't have to whisper it, but you'd be like, "Hey, it's good. You're straight. It's cool. Just tell me that."
It doesn't sound like you're straight in this scenario.
No. But just be like, "Hey, I got you, baby. That's fine."
I got you, baby.
I would figure I'm going to put it back together would be sufficient.
You did not say that.
I did.
You were showing off because Tom was there.
What am I going to show off in front of Tom? Tom found it hysterical, by the way.
Yeah, but I feel you should just talk me down. Just talk me down.
Yeah, I will put it back together. Should be sufficient for anyone.
Yeah, why you don't trust Aries at this point?
I do trust Aries.
That is a statement I am making to the world. If I say I will make it right, it will be right.
Yeah, he'll break his back to make sure it's right.
It's true.
It is.
It is true,
yeah,
but you don't believe that.
I do believe that. I do believe this.
You gotta have trust in your friend, Raven Shadow.
Both of you weren't there. He was getting me going.
I took a fucking door off.
Yeah.
I took a door off.
Yeah.
I had anxiety.
Yeah, because you didn't trust.
I did, and then we went out for dinner. It was very nice. No, I trust Aries. I trust Aries. It's like Al and Aries. That's like those are the two fucking men in my life.
And Raven Shadow's talking about Al Cool.
Yeah. Do stuff. But no. I trust Aries. I'd follow Aries to hell.
Well, you probably are going to.
Yeah, well, they got really good music over there here.
Corny says, Aries, go get that mug back.
I got to get that mug back. Yeah,
Stuff's in that mug.
I miss that
I
mug.
love it. You know
The
how
little
much
guy looking at me when I'm drinking.
All right, we're about to end the show, so let's do that. Let's go around and say our goodbyes. Does everyone get off their chest everything they want to get off? I know Aries did. Okay. MZ, go ahead. Say goodbye.
Arrivederci, douchebags.
Aries.
Goodbye.
Raven Shadow.
The fast love hard survive with the mask on.
All right. Speaking of gifts, this is a tradition that goes way back. But Marsman sent me the PWI 500 Pro Wrestling Illustrated Top 500. You guys remember this, right? We used to get this back in the day. So Mars gave me the new one. He sent it to me to keep the tradition alive. And so number one, Kenny Omega.
Oh, it's true. I mean, what they're doing in AEW is definitely a new hope for wrestling. So there's a lot of cool things going on.
Raven Chow, who do you think is number two? If Kenny Omega is number one.
Hulk Hogan.
Jesus Christ. Raven Shadow.
That time John Constantine. No, Jericho.
Nope.
Jungle Boy.
Nope. Roman Reigns.
Oh.
All right. Enough.
Are you serious with that?
What?
Who?
Roman Reigns? Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh God.
I haven't watched WWE, but I don't think he's lost. Well, except for today in the fucking Crown Jewel show. I don't think he's lost in like the last year. All right.
Oh, doesn't mean he's a good wrestler.
Well, it's mostly based on record and kayfabe stuff. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is going to do it. So we appreciate everyone tuning in, everyone who hung out for the live show, and Evil Corny for sending us a voice message. Next week, as I mentioned, we will be discussing The Night House from director David Bruckner, and it is available on streaming. I think it's a rent or buy. Prime Video, Apple TV, pretty much any of those places you can get VOD, you can find The Night House. So if you guys want to play along at home, feel free to send a voice message, podcast at trickortreatradio.com, and keep an eye out. Mark it on your calendar on Devil's Night, Saturday, October 30th at, we haven't figured out the time yet, but around 7 or 8 p.m., we will be streaming the extra special Halloween special live. It'll be a party, and then there's going to be an after party. Raven Shadow is going to be hosting the blackout tapes later that night after the event. So make your plans. Come hang out with us. It should be a great time. And that is going to do it. So we appreciate all you guys, especially our Patreon supporters. You guys keep us going. Thank you so much. And we shall see you all next week.